Hey guys, well it's the night before the Derby and we finally got this thing ready to run. So since the last video we've just done a lot of cosmetic work for the most part, and I'll just kind of walk around and show you what we got. So you won't believe it, but I was able to get the body panels pulled back out on this thing. Pulled the passenger side back a little bit, as well as this side was pushed way in. It was almost way up here by the back wheel. And by hooking that thing up to a tree with the chain and driving away a few times, we were able to get this truck looking quite a bit like a truck again, and I was pretty impressed with that. So I do have video of that. I'm not sure if I'll throw it up on YouTube or not, but I had a camera sitting off to the side kind of videotaping that, so I might throw that up just for fun. Got it all painted back up. Did a lot of touch-up, spray paint and everything else. Was able to find a color that matched pretty close to the original color, which surprised me. And so yeah, cosmetically it's looking pretty good. Done a lot of work at clearing metal away from the wheels, so hopefully that'll not get in the way. Also pre-bent the bumper back up as best I could with the tools I have. Unfortunately, here in Fort Wayne I don't have a set of torches. We have that in our shop back in Toledo, so just kind of had to do a bunch of cold bending as best I could. Here's this side as well, all painted up. But the one thing that I did on this was that the body had actually ripped off of the frame. Both body mounts had completely torn out. Just a bad planning on my part as far as how I did it, and it didn't hold up as well as I'd hoped. So what I ended up doing is, after I pulled the body out, took a big chunk of all thread, drilled a hole through the floor, and I've actually then cranked this down tight. At least as tight as I can get the all thread to let me crank it. So I did the same thing on this side, but with the chunk of all thread you can see that is really messed up because the body is nowhere near where it was supposed to be for stock. Same thing with the frame. And so that body mount's been extended about a foot to be able to reach exactly where I need to go with it, but at least now I've got a bolt in the frame holding it all together, and not just a free-floating body on the frame to do who knows what. Also got the wires back here tightened back up, twisted them all up, so this is taut for the most part, and then both the X's are taut as well. Something else, I kind of just went with it. The roof was already starting to buckle a little bit, so I left the ridges right where they are because I still want a little bit of strength. But in the sheet metal pieces right here, I actually hit it with a hammer, just so that way when it does decide to bend, I've given it a little bit of a crease point. But I'm still getting the most potential out of these ribs on my roof, because if I just hit those and bent them, then I feel like I'm going to lose out on some strength that's still helping to hold this back end square. The other thing I've also left is I left the center pillar here tucked in, and you know, just kind of because I was able to get this side pulled out, basically this gives it a nice V shape, and so the hope is that it'll help the body bend and kind of suck it in towards the middle. It'll help pull this side in, this corner in, same thing with pull that side in, and just keep it going that way. If I was to pull it all back out, then who knows what would happen to this back end. It could start blowing apart all over the place. So that was just the theory behind that. We'll see how well it works. And again, the bumper, I'm going to have to just try to take some smart shots at the beginning to get this corner rolling up, and I'm hoping once that one corner comes up, then it'll just kind of pull the other pieces with it. At this point, my main goal with this truck is it's my home fair. So I want to get a run in at the home fair, and you know, if it's the last hurrah for this truck, then so be it. I'm okay with that. I'm content. This is run number 3 at the moment. You know, I've got a lot of other projects I need to work on, and if it's this truck, then cool. If not, then if we drive it to the ground tomorrow night, then off to the scrapyard she goes. No hard feelings or anything. Been a lot of fun. The inside, really nothing else that I've done. Cleaned up the wiring that was hanging down that had broken loose, and right now this is just the temporary battery that I have in it. I have an Optima battery that I'm going to put in for the Derby. This one kind of crapped out on me, unfortunately, in the last one, and that's what ultimately knocked me out. I had a flat tire, but I was also still kind of moving ever so slightly, and may have been able to bust loose and keep on going, but unfortunately the battery died, and so did the truck. Yeah, so you can see it's all wrinkling up in the back. So we're just gonna hope that it starts to go and starts to work out. I've got the front done here, where the all thread has now been replaced and is now a solid chunk all the way through. Right now it's just bolted down, so that way it's ready to go first thing in the morning. A little bit of a radiator leak, but it's just a slow drip. So at this point I'll just top it off probably when I get to the racetrack, to the track out there at the fairgrounds, and then I'll just hope that I don't lose a whole lot of water and that she doesn't boil out completely when I'm at the Derby. But again, this thing, it's already losing a couple of the rings. It's burning a lot of oil. She smokes. She smells bad. And I'm surprised the motor hasn't blown up yet, honestly. So I'm just going to hammer down with the front end tomorrow night, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll hope that she holds together and, you know, above all else, puts on a show for the crowd, because that's what it's all about, at least for us. You know, the money, if you can win some, is nice, and if you can get a trophy to take home and put up on the shelf, well, then you got a little souvenir to go along with the memories. So anyways, yeah, other than that, just a lot of cosmetic damage, but pieced it back together as best we could in a short period of time. And as I said, yeah, just trying to get another hurrah out of her, and worst case, we just park it back in the weeds and it sits there over the winter, and then we'll hit it again in the springtime, piece it back together for another run. But yeah, at this point I think that's about it. Oh, and I also took apart the rear end. If you guys watched the video, it did open up back up for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why, but anyway, my welds had broke, and so I ended up welding it back together. So it's all fixed now. I'm not really sure why the welds broke as they did, but anyway, it's not going to break this time. I assure you that. I welded the heck out of it. So now we got a true posi again, and just ready to tear it up. So there you go, guys. She's all ready for the Derby. It's tomorrow, and we'll get some video footage of that event, as well as an in-car GoPro. And maybe I'll even get some footage before the event out in the pits, doing a, you know, pre-walk around. But there you go. Until the next video. Talk to you later, guys.